So, hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about Operation Absolute Resolve. So, what is it? It is a US military intervention in Venezuela. Okay, so what happened during this? So, the US Special Forces they entered the Venezuelan capital Caracas and captured the Venezuelan president Nicolas Maduro along with his wife. And they were arrested on the charges related to narco terrorism and were subsequently taken to New York. So, this is what happened. Okay, and if you know why all this happened, we will give you a small background. See, in July 2024, there was election in Venezuela. So there were two parties and two major political sides, and Maduro's party won the election. But the opposition were alleging widespread electoral fraud, and many Western countries also did not recognize Maduro as the legitimate leader, and they also refused to accept the election results. So the election issue was there. Then later in 2025, the US increased its naval presence in the Caribbean Sea. So it hampered the logistics and maritime activities of Venezuela. Then again in 2026 January, this operation like Absolute Resolve was carried out, led to the capture of the president and his wife. So, and this is one of the important thing, which is the news. And following this operation, what happened? So what happened in the US? So US and Venezuela. So in Venezuela, an interim government was formed, but US did not recognize it. And in US, the US president told the authorized US oil companies to repair and reclaim their oil assets in Venezuela. And they also told one thing like, the Venezuela's oil reserves would be used for reconstruction. So this clearly shows the oil reserves are a major strategic factor behind these developments. And why we are talking so much about oil? Because Venezuela is having the world's largest proven oil reserves in the reserves, that is 303 billion barrels. If you compare it with Saudi Arabia, which is in the second place, that is having only 267 billion barrels. So, and India's position. So, India adopted a neutral stand. India expressed deep concern and called for peaceful dialogue. So, the word is very clear, deep concern, because India did not directly condemn the US because India has strategic ties with the US in terms of defense, technology, and trade. So, openly criticizing US is not good. And at the same time, it focused on the well-being of the Venezuelan people, emphasizing peace and stability. And for citizens, the citizen-centric diplomacy, that is, avoid all unnecessary travel to Venezuela, and the people who are residing in Venezuela to stay indoors, restrict movement, etc., and stay alert. And the global reaction were also divided. These are the countries which supported the US action, and these are the countries which condemned the US action. So that's it. Thank you.